the combine, every year I go there and I just marvel how the prospects get bigger, stronger, and faster, right? I come back and say that to you every time, right? And now the metrics 100% support the eye test. This year's combine, and every single time NFL Network we put together these stats, we say since 2003, that's when we came into existence. 2004 was the first combine that we were at, even though Bill Polian was basically blocking the door. And we started going there, and Mayock told that story last time he made an appearance on this program about how he and Paul Burmeister, Paul, who on the first night of the combine called Michigan's buzzer beater of Rutgers on Peacock, he and Mayock were sitting in these folding chairs right on the 50-yard line, and he was evaluating an offensive lineman who cursed out Mike because he overheard Mike evaluating him in a way that he didn't appreciate. And so he cursed him out, which meant at the time there was no Starbucks. And so every year since then, we've been on the air. We always used since 2003. Fastest average 40-yard dash combine since 2003. 2025, the average 40-yard dash time at this year's combine was 4.67 seconds.
Wow. Oh my God.
When I say bigger, stronger, faster, I just gave you the faster. Here's the bigger. The 2025 combine participants on average, 6'2.25". That is the tallest combine. So we saw the biggest and the fastest. And, I don't know if I have any metrics yet on the strongest in terms of, the most weight and reps of 225. The list of sub 40-yard dashes, I mean, it was lengthy, to say the least. Over 20 of them. Sub 4.40s. Vertical jumps. The safety, Nick Eamon-Wari from South Carolina, he jumped 43 inches.
Saw that. He's a freak.
Dude, he could be a power forward. Yeah,
you guys were high on him during his workouts.
And he had a broad jump of 11 feet 6 inches. That's the most as well. It's nuts what we see, and that's part of the reasons why I love having this combine, because you see the feats of strength. The airing of grievances, again, happens at a Starbucks. I can't stop making fun of that.
How could you?
Why would you want to?
Because I love Ian, and I don't want to.
I know, but it's funny.
And then, you get to meet the kids, and Stacey Dales of our broadcast does such an incredible job of humanizing the combine participants and telling you their backstories. And she's so terrific at it. And the players open up to her, and she's such a pro's pro. She goes around. The minute she lands, she's working and going to these podiums and hearing what they say there, and then following up with them, and then bringing these stories home. And our crew, they are so amazing at showing things to you, to the point where some coaches don't go to the combine. They think it's better watching it, which is a great compliment. But the issue is we want people at the combine. And that's the major issue of the combine. We keep talking about these all-star games and what to do with them, and how the NHL cracked the code, right? With the 4 nations this year, even though it doesn't appear that we're going to see that for a while. And we're wondering what the NBA is going to do with its all-star game. And I come here and I said, we just want, as sports fans, we will always react positively to an event where the people participating in it communicate verbally or with their play, with their passion, that it means as much to them as it does to us. We will always, as fans, watch that sort of stuff. And this stuff, for a lot of players, it means a lot to them, because it's the difference between being a first rounder or not, or in some cases being a drafted player or not. Many of these combines, I even said it to Daniel Jeremiah, not everybody invited to the combine makes the NFL draft. There's a very small handful. Usually, if you watch the combine from beginning to end, first of all, thank you. Secondly, you've just seen the draft. Pretty much. With the exception of here or there, maybe an international player that wasn't there or another player that wasn't drafted. Let's just say Shiloh Sanders gets drafted, just to use somebody whose name you're familiar with. He wasn't invited to the combine. He breaks through. Normally, you've just seen the combine. Just we'll find out in a different order. But it doesn't help our broadcast when the top players in the sport who are going to be drafted don't participate. Like our NFL Network opens to the combine where you see Lamar throwing it, you see Mahomes throwing it, you see Nick Bosa going through
Saquon.
Right, Saquon.
Yeah.
TJ Watt going through the on-field drills and Josh Allen going through the on-field drills, and then they morph into their current selves, stars of the game, offensive player. We just named the MVP of the league, the previous MVPs of the league, Super Bowl MVPs, the reigning offensive player of the year, defensive players of the year. We just named Myles Garrett was in the open as well. If the combine was now, or those guys were in this combine right now, they wouldn't have participated in it.
No.
And that's a problem. That's the NFL's problem that needs to be fixed more than the Pro Bowl. That needs to be fixed. I don't know what the fix is, because the sense is if fans are going to be there, maybe more of these kids will want to work out. If it's on TV, maybe more of these kids will want to work out. I don't know. Because I understand the sense of wanting to put velvet ropes around you to say you're different by saying, you're Ashton Genty, right? You're like, what do you need to see from me from this past year? A 30th touchdown. He had 29. By the way, 29 touchdowns.
It was awesome.
What do you want? You want me to run around those bags for you? So you could see a 30th touchdown, whatever you need to imagine that. Mm-hmm. So I understand that sense and sensibility, because we try to do that here with our guest list, right? Like we try to have a certain velvet rope mentality around this show and who appears on it and what we talk about and how we conduct ourselves when the show's on the air, and 99.9% of the other time don't traffic in rumor. So I understand that. And also, DJ, who's going to be on Tuesday's show, Daniel Jeremiah, he wisely pointed out, I didn't think about this, that with the college football playoffs lasting into late January now, what do you want? Somebody like from Ohio State or Notre Dame, if they're still nicked up. I mean, honestly, the combine was 5 weeks-ish after they played their last game.
5-6 weeks.
Normally, you're playing your last game in late November, early December. Because if you're getting ready for the NFL, you're going to skip your bowl game. If you weren't in the BCS or in the Final Four, right?
Most likely.
Right.
Yeah, most likely.
Correct? Now kids are playing 20 games, 19 games, 18 games. I mean, weeks I'm talking about. They're playing 15 games, 16.
So do we move everything back?
I don't know the answer to it. Tyler Warren, I would have loved to have seen him work out.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Dude finished his season mid-January.
He could be the first tight end taken.
I think he will be.
Yeah.
Actually.
Most definitely.
So I don't know what the fix is. Maybe moving the combine back a week or two. Then do you move the draft back? Or you just keep the draft where it is? And just the talent evaluation portion of the calendar is more condensed. I'll ask Daniel let's ask Mike this later on, because I don't know of many other evaluators that would have a problem if they had to come up with their draft board quicker. I think some people think it takes too damn long. Like, let's go. And they certainly don't want to push back. I remember one year because James Dolan told the NFL, Radio City is taken by an Easter extravaganza. Sorry. And they wound up doing draft weekend on Mother's Day weekend, which pissed off most of the league, including the front office of the NFL. And when the Easter extravaganza that kept the NFL from having its usual dates in Radio City Music Hall, then apparently got canceled, and the NFL still had to stick with their date anyway. That's what was the impetus to cause the NFL to say, maybe we don't have to be in Radio City every single year, and bring it all around the league.
Which has proven to be a genius idea.
Right. So maybe you just push the combine back a couple weeks. The problem with that is that's where the new league year is.
Move the league back. Move that back a week. What does it hurt to have the combine mid-March and then
ask a general manager,
and then the new league year starts on the 21st of March?
Ask a GM,
and then the draft is 4 weeks after that.
That's a lot of stuff, man. It happens fast.
The off season goes fast.
Because I got to be honest with you, man. It was great to see some of these really amazing athletes go at it and do their thing. You know, really, I mean, truly, you know, next level stuff. Again, Eamon Worry of South Carolina, the only other player at the combine since 2003 to be 6'3" or taller, run a sub 4.40 and have a 40-inch vertical and an 11-inch broad jump is DK Metcalf. That's it. That kid Armand Membu of Missouri.
Yeah, he made himself some money.
Woo. He might be the first offensive lineman taken. Mm-hmm. Thank you for working out, man. I mean, that was something else watching him run.
Yeah, I saw a mock today that had him 5th overall.
Possibly. Right? And even thank you to Isaiah Bond, to be honest with you. I know he's getting a lot of crap for saying, I'm going to break Xavier Worthy's record. I can even run in the 4 once. And then he ran a 4.4.
Yeah, but 4.4.
By the way, which is no slouch.
Oh, you're one of the fastest humans on earth. Well, running a 4.4.
Actually, the official 40 came in at sub 4.4.
Oh,
at 4.39.
I know. I was trying to keep it on my phone, and I never can match up to the official time. I'm always like a few seconds off. I'm like,
were you really trying to time 40s?
Bro, Rich.
Were you really trying to do that?
Every year, I spend about an hour sitting there on my phone trying to see if I can get the 40 time right, and it's never right.
Yeah, there were 22 sub 440s. So, boy, I would love to watch Travis Hunter work out.
Yeah.
I would love to have seen Shador and Cam Ward spin it. And what it does, though, when they don't, is it allows us to see that kid Shuck from Louisville, who balled out.
Dude had a cannon.
So, hey, obviously I'm biased. I want this thing to be as terrific as it possibly can be. It would be great to see everybody work out. Do you actually, I'm going to say this, do you actually give these kids a stipend for participating?
What's enough, though, in today's NIL? Like,
nothing. I get it.
To make it worth it.
I know. But yeah. I think,
lunch money.
These kids are now in the NIL era used
to getting
paid for this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And I understand for some people it is a privilege and a massive opportunity. For others, it's like, okay, I'll meet with you. I know it's a job interview. I understand I need to see a doctor. Certainly if you're Abdul Carter, right? Where we found out something about his foot. He did. So I don't know. That's my concern for the combine moving forward. because there were a ton of. I mean, it's entirely possible if it's Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, both quarterbacks, and Ashton Genty, the top 5 picks in the draft didn't work out at combine. Tyler Warren, could we go through the top 10 and not see anybody that worked out?
You might get a majority, over 50% in the top 10 who didn't.
That's just not great, Bob.
Not great, Bob.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.